Zenith.
Looks like we're getting ready with the picks here. I don't imagine we'll see anything but standard bans and picks. It's such a high caliber game. We see Darkseid banned out first here. We're just kind of going back to what I just said.
I mean, you never know. If anyone's going to do something unstandard, it's going to be Zenith in this matchup.
Yeah.
But for now, at least, things are going relatively standardly. Zenith is going to be on the Radiant side, with Rattlesnake being on the Dire.
Batrunner banned out here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Probably the most banned hero, actually, so far. I think Nyx Assassin might contest for that, though.
Yep. We are going to be using the names of the players as is. For example, I believe Awesome is Chibi, but I'm just going to be calling him Awesome during this cast. It'll make it a little bit easier for us.
And NWP is actually Yamate.
Ooh, that's actually awesome.
Yeah, but
Chibi. Templar Assassin being banned. We see this a little bit, you know. A lot of teams are really scared of her, especially considering that two of her main counters are two heroes that we see a lot in the first banning stage, being the Darkseer as well as the Batrider.
It'll be interesting to see if Rattlesnake decide to ban out Nyx Assassin or Magnus here, because they are actually able to get the one that Zenith decided not to pick, so...
Yep, they could very well just ban...
Yeah.
Oh, they do ban the Nyx, so that means that I feel like Zenith isn't going to pass up the chance to take up on Magnus right now.
But
or
that
if they
does
are,
mean Rattlesnake are going to be able to get the Rubik.
Yeah. So they might actually end up deciding to pick up the Rubik first. And it's actually a Lifestealer being
that
first.
is
This
interesting.
Is we rarely see. Man, that's actually pretty surprising. I think the last time I saw this was yesterday in the round 2 game, I believe, between Phantoms and I can't remember the other team's name, but it was a Lifestealer first pick. So, you know, this is already the round 7, but it doesn't mean that we don't see Unorthodox with that Lifestealer first pick. This could be the beginning of a pocket strategy for Zenith.
10 seconds remaining.
We have seen in the past, Orange, when Isocides was ringing for Orange, we have seen them use him as an offlane solo. But I don't think we're going to see that here unless Rattlesnake pick up a Lone Druid. If so, we could actually maybe see it, but I'm not too sure.
I feel like the chances of picking up a Lone Druid right now are very small, though,
Yeah.
if only because Lifestealer just does so well against that hero.
Yeah, exactly. It might be just to discourage them from doing that. I wonder if Rattlesnake would go for the standard Rubik and Magnus picked up at the same time here. We've seen that a few times when teams let them both through at the to the second pick.
Yep. Rattlesnake kind of hesitating going into their reserve time. That kind of threw them off a little bit, that Lifestealer pick. I mean, it would throw me off too. They do decide to pick up the Lone Druid, however, even though Lifestealer does so well against it. Maybe banking on the fact that they can push so well with that additional hero that they picked up, being the Keeper of the Light.
These are the two heroes they picked up last game as well, and it worked out really well for them. They just had such a slow siege on every tower, and there was nothing the enemy team could do to stop it.
Yep, I love how some teams are playing that Keeper of the Light. Like, a lot of the Coddle picks so far have just been really heavy rotations, just going through all the other lanes, making sure they're wherever they're needed in terms of counter pushing with the Illuminate, or even getting some harass onto the main carries.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Don't worry, guys. I'll check my Dota TV audio just really quick. Yeah, it seems like everything should be okay. If the Dota TV is not working, just let us know, drop us a note in the chat, and we'll try to fix it as quickly as possible.
I'll just turn it off and on again, see if that helps. Make sure it works. So Zenith are kind of eating into their extra time here. It could be that they wanted to discourage the Lone Druid pick so they could pick it for themselves, because I do know Isocides does play a Lone Druid fairly well, so... Now that it's been picked up by Rattlesnake, they might not really know what to do.
Reserved.
Lina picked up here. That's a very early Lina pick.
Boy.
And the Tinker!
Man, the last time I saw this Tinker, I love watching Zenith play Tinker. I mean, whether it's XY or X Freedom, honestly, both of them play mean Tinkers. And we saw a game in the last GosuCup where they were down 25,000 gold and still managed to make it a turnaround on the back of a Tinker with a Blink Dagger, a Dagon 5, and an Ethereal Blade. Their Tinkers do work, and it's a pleasure to watch.
It's so fun to watch. Just that Dagon, Ethereal Blade, Blink Dagger, blinking around in the entire team fight, just taking out people with that insanely high burst damage. So much fun to watch. I'm really happy that we're going to be able to cast that.
Not only that, but if Tinker ends up getting his Blink Dagger relatively soon as well, we might even see some Lifestealer bombs with
yeah.
his infest on the back of that Tinker. That's going to be a lot of burst damage with the laser rocket as well, if he does go that path later on in the game, of course.
Bounty Hunter.
Ooh. Bounty Hunter's
Zenith's
kind of an
turn
interesting
to
pick here.
ban.
Typically, Bounty Hunter doesn't do too well he doesn't do too well against heavy burst damage. And I mean, we already see the Lina, we talked about the Tinker, and even the Lifestealer just adds to that
Team
burst
ban.
as you just talked about.
The thing about that Bounty Hunter pick is it kind of makes the lanes a little bit interesting, to say the least. We might not be seeing that Lone Druid in the solo safe lane as we are normally accustomed to seeing, if only based on the fact that Bounty Hunter normally goes in the solo off lane.
Zenith's
So we might see a little bit more
turn to
protection
ban.
on that Lone Druid. In terms of bans right now, a lot of mid heroes being banned out for Zenith, quite predictably, as Rattlesnake is missing their mid lane. They actually banned out a
Dire
Storm Spirit
team
as well,
ban.
being kind of wary of the amount of mobility that a Storm Spirit could have, as well as even a Night Stalker in the nighttime. Night Stalker being coupled with that Bounty Hunter, of course, providing them with both quite a bit of move speed with the track, as well as Night Stalker in nighttime. On the other hand, the Sand King and Sven banned out from Rattlesnake.
I really like the first few the bans here from Rattlesnake as well. Just banning out those second supports to go with the Lina, the ones with the stuns. Just
Zenith's
because they're
turn to
obviously
pick.
afraid of an aggressive tri-lane here. They don't want to be up against that with the Lone Druid. They want their
I mean,
Lone
it
Druid
seems
to get
like,
some safe lane farm.
It seems like both teams have a little bit of counter push on the back of the Tinker's March of the Machines, as well as the Keeper of the Lights Illuminate. But for now, the push slightly favors Team Rattlesnake, with the Lone Druid just being able to do so much damage to towers once he hits level 7, and Demolish is on that bear.
I wonder what Zenith are going to
10
pick up here.
seconds
They still need a
remaining.
support.
More than likely going to be a support now. They might
5
not want to
seconds
show
remaining.
if they're going to do a solo safe and run the Lifestealer aggressive try.
It
Or,
could be a
if they
Leshrac
want-
picked up
Reserve
here. I know
time.
Rattlesnake like it as well, and perhaps Zenith know that. Perhaps they want to deny the Leshrac from Rattlesnake.
Leshrac would be a good addition, especially to Rattlesnake's team, though, as well. Just based on the fact that it's additional push for their team.
Yeah.
Oh man, Tinker. I'm so excited, man. Like, honestly, the last time I watched Zenith play Tinker, after that game, I spent something like 4 hours in a private lobby just like practicing my Tinker.
Oh, he was so
It was
good.
like, it was so impressive.
Yep.
Got to me. Inspired me.
Ooh, Chen picked up here. So that means the safe lane most likely.
Dire
Could
team
still
pick.
go into the aggressive lane, but
That's the thing. Like, you never know with Zenith. Like,
Yeah,
they could
yeah.
very well aggressive jungle.
most likely
That's
going
the
to
best
be a
part.
safe lane.
Most likely. Fried Butterflies is, I believe, Ice Ice Ice.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll just gotta remember that.
Ten seconds.
Some interesting mid heroes that are still open are, of course, the Queen of
5
Pain,
seconds
as well as
remaining.
maybe a Brewmaster. They did run a Brewmaster in the last comp as well, though, so they could very well run that.
Reserve
Brewmaster against Tinker.
Doesn't do too well just because of that laser, but he does okay with the clap spam. If he's able to bottle crow efficiently.
Which he should be able to do. I mean, these
Yeah.
are both top tier teams, so like, anytime it's like if bottle crowing becomes an issue, it shouldn't be. Magnus, wow, I can't believe
Zenith's
we
turn
forgot
to
about
pick.
Magnus. Magnus went through the entire first ban stage, the first pick stage as well as the second ban stage, and is now a 4th pick. When do you ever see that?
Almost
That's most likely
never.
going to be their mid lane, though.
Yeah, most likely. And
Hunter.
it's kind of that spamming type of hero that we just talked
Dire
about
team
with the Brewmaster. Brewmaster with the bottle crow could probably do it, but Magnus just does it even better with the shockwave. Tide Hunter
finally, the
picked up
Tide
here.
Hunter.
Oh, my favorite hero. Here we go.
This is really interesting because they can still run that kind of pseudo-aggressive tri-lane, if only because Tide Hunter versus Bounty Hunter on a 1v1 situation
Yeah.
is very favorable for that Tide Hunter. So they have to
Just
be
because of that
slightly
anchor
wary
smash,
of
it just
Rattlesnake.
takes away the damage completely from the Bounty Hunter, and Bounty Hunter just can't compete in the last hits. And also,
Yeah.
Tide Hunter can push it fairly well and can lane control that way if he wants to. He also has such a high survivability, he's so tanky early on that Jinada doesn't really do much to him. He's really good against Bounty Hunter.
Yep,
Rubik
and
picked up
Rubik
here.
being the last pick, man, that like these tier 1 heroes arguably are waiting till like the
Yeah.
very end to be picked. That's not something you see every day, that's for sure. So the comps are as follows. Rattlesnake is equipped with the Lone Druid, Keeper of the Light, Bounty Hunter, the Magnus, as well as the Rubik. And on Zenith's side, they are, of course, handling the Lifestealer, the Lina, Tinker, Chen, and finally the Tidehunter. It's a pretty heavy team fight-oriented lineups from both teams, really.
10 seconds.
And a key player to watch this game is going to be that Rubik. If he can get a pretty early 4-staff, then the Tidehunter is going to have to really worry. And the Tidehunter is going to have to use his Ravage right next to Rubik, pretty much, in order to mask it.
Yep, there are really 4 main spells, I think, that the Rubik is going to want to steal. Those being the Ravage, maybe the Lina's
Prepare
Ultimate,
for battle.
Chen's Test of Faith, and what was the last one? Crap. And as well as Tinker's March of the Machines, just for the area control, potentially, in the early game team fights. So we will definitely be watching the Rubik. So here we go. It looks like Xream is going to be playing the Chen. We have NWP, which is Yamate, playing the Tinker. This is going to be a Yamate Tinker, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty exciting. Chibi, also known as Awesome, which we will be referring to him as, is going to be the Lifestealer. Finally, Ice 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 on the Tidehunter. And hello, hello. That's XY. He's going to be playing the Lina.
And for Rattlesnake, we have Luo playing this Keeper of the Light, just like last game. He didn't really reach the Beyond Godlike status like we predicted, but he came pretty close with that 1-0 score. We have Icy playing this Lone Druid, just like last game. He played a very impressive Lone Druid, very efficient with his item usage. We have Kabu playing this Rubik, and he's very close to Ice 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 and XY right here. But I don't think we're going to see any action just yet. We have Fan playing this Bounty Hunter, on the offlane solo, and we have Lanham playing this Magnus in the mid lane.
Something interesting to note is that Lam last game was actually their offlane player, but he was their Magnus player, I believe, at the same time. So maybe they're just doing it accustomed to the heroes rather than roles that they will generally use. Looks like a double damage rune is going to be picked up by the Rubik. One of the nice things about Rubik is you can never really contest him for a rune, if only because of the threat of being stuck on a cliff for the first couple of minutes of a game. So he is going to get that double damage rune to himself, which means that this weird dual lane, well, it looks like XY is going to be rotating, but Tidehunter might have a little bit of an issue right now.
I think XY was just up there to be able to block the pull camps with Ice as Ice, but not really getting there because of this Rubik and the Keeper of the Light.
Uh-oh. Ice 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 might be overstepping a little bit. It's kind of risky right now to be where he is right now because of the fact that the Rubik has a double damage and he's going to run away almost instantly. They might actually try to go on this. Ice 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 taking a lot of damage. The Stout Field Shield not really providing any use. Illuminate's actually going to miss. He's going to run up around in circles. Where is he going? Where do you go in this situation?
He's going to try to the Dire. He is. And he does. That's the correct call to make. He was going to go down either way, and you don't want to give the first blood to the Lone Druid. Don't want to give him that amazing start.
Yep. I agree with that for sure. I mean, that was like just worst possible situation, but he made the best out of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was the first blood equivalent of something like 409 gold being given to the Dire, but it is split.
Looks like the Tinker is having a great time in this mid lane, actually. Already 7-4 against Magnus 4-0. We kind of predicted this. Tinker is really hard to beat in the mid lane, and most of the heroes that do good against him were actually banned out. If only just because of his laser. This Magnus is going to have to spam his shockwave to get last hits.
Yep. They are kind of starting with a dual jungle with this Chen as well as Alina, but they know that it is a safe lane jungle. That's the important thing. Just because of the warding that's going on with the Dire right now, Rattlesnake know that Lina's missing, but she isn't really a threat to the top lane.
Speaking of the top lane, there's actually a regen rune on the top. On the top spawn site. Tinker picks it up just after using the rockets, just hoping for a lucky hit on the Magnus, but wasn't quite in range.
Yep. Magnus sitting at 7-0 to the 9-7 of the Tinker, so already some nice control. Actually, strangely enough, the bottom lane is pushing quite heavily, even though the Lina, I guess, was there for a little bit. Maybe they just weren't doing enough pulling as well. So this Bounty Hunter is going to get a relatively quick level 3.5. Compare that to the level 1, not even level 2 yet for this Tidehunter, and that's a little bit painful.
Yeah, you really need to hit a fairly fast level 6 on Tidehunter in order to be an effective offlane solo. You don't want to be stuck on that level 2 to 3 when every other hero is getting their ultimates. You can see he's trying to do some pulling right here, but the Keeper of the Light is on top of that. He's just going to be nuking this straight away pretty much with the Illuminate.
Yep, I really want to point out also the top lane, the Lone Druid. He's doing the exact same thing that he did last time, and I really agree with this. So, like, I really want to highlight that people that want to, like, work on their Lone Druid in certain situations, he goes for that Orb of Venom once again, rather than going for a Stout Shield, because his bear is in no threat of actually going down in that lane. The Stout Shield would be an extra 250 gold. That's kind of a waste. Yeah, I know, I was watching that.
We see the
Looks like
supports
they're
here.
gonna try to catch this Lone Druid.
This is very reminiscent of what LGD Int actually like to do.
Yep, but it's not working as well as
No.
as they wanted. That level 2 Illuminate did a lot of damage. That's 300 damage to both of them, and now they're both sitting like near half health, forced to use tangos. And on top of that, Bounty Hunter knows that they're top. He knows he can be really safe and just get some levels up.
And a fast level 6 on this Bounty Hunter is something that Rattlesnake really want, because that track is going to be really important for them to find momentum in this game.
Not only that, but the fact that he's going to be a quick level 6 is really going to play into their hands because of the fact that Lina as well as Chen are doing a relatively heavy dual roaming strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only at level 2 and level 3 right now, whereas Bounty Hunter is very close to level 5, so he might be able to get involved a lot more than normally. Nice Illuminate as well as a great Shockwave. They actually might be able to catch the Chen. However, the Lina does come in, just ward them off with her Light Strike Array, and the Chen is alright.
Looking at this bottom lane, this Bounty Hunter is getting really aggressive on his Lifestealer, but not able to follow through. 3 points in that range means that he's never going to be able to get a Shuriken toss off.
He was forced to use his open wounds defensively, which is not something you want to see having happen on a Lifestealer. Look at how much damage his Shuriken, level 3 Shuriken toss in this lane.
Typically you see 2 in Janata and 2 in Shuriken toss, but opting for the burst damage here.
Yep. A little bit more passive. I feel like Zenith has realized, we can't really do much in the top lane because we're getting destroyed by that Keeper of the Lights Illuminate every time. Whoa!
Oh,
yeah,
so
that was
close with the skewer.
Nice skewer attempt. So they've kind of just gone back into their jungle, although it feels like they're a bit behind in their levels, the Chen as well as Alina.
But you have to keep an eye on this Tinker. He's doing very well with the farming, and if he can get a fast boot to travel up, then he's gonna snowball out of control, I feel.
Oh, Bear hits level 5. He gets an Entangle up onto this Tidehunter, who has no levels in his Kraken Shell, so he isn't able to just like get rid of that stun from the Entangle.
Bounty Hunter hits level 6 and instantly tracks this Lifestealer up, but the Bounty Hunter's gonna be in trouble now, I feel. There is a Sentry Ward on this Chen, so they're gonna be able to pick up the kills.
Yep, not only that, but he was dusted as well. The dust bought by that Lifestealer, so there was no way of him escaping. Excellent play there. Good awareness to give the Lifestealer that dust, and then just gank that Bounty Hunter as soon as possible. However, now that he's level 6 and he is down, he might not want to just continue to that bottom lane. He might just want to start roaming mid and top. Yep, grabs the invisibility rune. He's going to try to go onto this Rubik. Rubik,
and he's going to be able to get it.
Telekinesis up. This might be a free kill.
It should be. We're going to be following this Tinker. Actually, we should be following the Rubik.
Cue the cat and mouse chase right now. He knows what's coming. That's the worst part.
And dead. Yamate just getting that first kill on his Tinker.
Yep.
Probably not the last though. And they just saw Bounty to walk past here, and he knows that though because the creeps followed him, so he knows where the Sentry Ward is placed and what areas to avoid right now.
Yep, which means that he's probably going to be searching for this Chen now.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stay in that lane because of the potential threat of getting killed, even though he does have his Windwalk up.
And he spots out the Troll Warlord here. Which means that the Chen is obviously near.
Oh, they know.
Oh, they just saw him. They just saw him.
Vision there.
Right here, you can see him when he walks past.
Yeah.
Looking at this top lane. Tyrant is eating some heavy res. He's still stuck on level 4, not taking 1 point in Kraken Shell. Usually you see at least 1, because just getting out of those stuns is just so vital. Our Bounty Hunter's rotating up here though. Are they gonna look to tower dive with the Coddle Illuminate? Could be.
Yeah,
it looks like it actually.
Back is actually going to go up onto this Tidehunter. Tidehunter hits level 5, gets 3 levels in his Anchor Smash still. But look at the amount of damage coming in. Rubik's actually coming up too. This Tidehunter sitting at around 175 health. But a nice Light Strike Array once again hitting the Bounty Hunter, even though he was stealth. And just disengaging the entire battle there up the top.
I want to point out the Lina just nuking down the bear as much as he possibly could, so they weren't able to use it as a meat shield for the tower. It saved the Tidehunter's life right there.
It's actually taking once again a lot of damage.
And the reverse polarity in mid! the track kill, it's gonna be an easy kill, but the March to the Machine does so much damage. We see both of the heroes going down below half health.
This is actually a really interesting build coming out of Yamata as well. He's actually going 4 in laser. That's not something you see every day. It is 320 pure damage, which means that it will not get reduced by magic resist. That's going to do 320 damage every time. However, Rockets hits 2 people, which is what you normally see being maxed in this situation.
He just really wanted to exert his lane dominance over this Magnus. Yep. I can see that. And he did. He definitely did. Just looking at the CS, he's doubling the Magnus's creep score right now.
Look at that harass. That Magnus takes so much damage from that. Tidehunter just about to hit level 6, and as soon as he hits level 6, which he is now, he's going to be a much bigger threat to the Dire team. 4 people already up here for the Dire. They're going to try to find another pick off onto this Tidehunter. They found him, they pinged him out. Looks like Bounty Hunter is going to get the Jinata strike off and track him up.
It'll be interesting to see if Tidehunter even decides to Ravage here.
Doesn't look like it.
No, it doesn't look like it. I think that's the correct call, because he was going to go down either way. You can see the Lone Druid actually sitting outside range of it, just to be able to dodge it and then go in for a lucky entangle. That's a good pick off though, just as he hits level 6. Typically you want to do it just before he hits level 6, which is what they tried, but as he hit level 6 when they were already up there, they still went for it.
Yep.
Still a good timing.
Yep. It was really good that he didn't use that Ravage. I mean, the worst case scenario is he uses it, he's going to die anyways, and then Rubik might even get a chance to steal it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tinker sitting about 400 gold away from his Boots of Travels, getting closer and closer. 10-minute rune about to spawn. We'll see who decides to get it. Magnus is checking the bot there for it. But it's going to spawn top, unfortunately. It is an Invis rune, which would be really useful for that Magnus.
But Bounty Hunter has a bottle as well, so he's going to take this Invis rune with open arms.
I don't think so. I think they're going to leave it for the Magnus, most likely. Just because of the amount of threat that a Magnus with Invis, if unknown and unscouted, would give. Right? Like, if an Invis Magnus comes in, that's a guaranteed at least 2-person reverse polarity. And
look at the top lane!
Right call. Yep, looks like they are going to try to get the pick off. They do manage to kill the Rubik there. Nice play.
Ravage is still not used, and this is going to be very important to note. And his Magnus has not been spotted by this Tinker yet. Oh, he's waiting for his Bounty Hunter friend to show up, and then they're going to go for another kill on him with the reverse polarity.
And this is going to be another really important kill. Unfortunately, he's only about 150 away from his travels, and look how safe he's playing. Like, he knows something's wrong, but it doesn't matter. That's the worst part. They are going to get the kill on the Tinker, and he's back down. He loses about 200 gold in that exchange there. And now he's sitting back at around 350 gold away from his Boots of Travel.
And that's a really important kill. We were talking about how the fast Boots of Travels are going to be a massive issue for this Dire side, but they're not going to allow that to happen.
Yep. Once again, it's also a track kill, which means that even more money is given to the Magnus.
And we see a dive here on the top lane on the Lone Druid.
Yep, he's going to TP in as well, this Magnus. He doesn't have a reverse polarity. Nice Ravage being used by the Tidehunter, and they manage to take off that Lone Druid. The Shockwave comes out from the Magnus, as well as the Skewer up. He misses the Skewer damage, but this might still be enough to kill that Tidehunter, and it seems like he is going to go down. Excellent Illuminate as well, coming from that Keeper of the Light.
Good
but nice test of faith from the Chen, sending her back. However, it might be at the expense of the Chen. Tinker, though, comes in, gets the kill up onto that Magnus. And
wait, is he going to go down here? No, he should be
everything. Oh, Bounty Hunter actually getting caught out of position as well with that Lifestealer teleporting in. And they want that Keeper of the Light too. They're going to keep chasing. Arcane Boots on the... Oh no. The Tranquils actually just might give him the move speed.
Oh!
Excellent jukes. Look at those jukes.
Well played.
Oh man,
and he's going to be completely fine.
Nice play. He also got the additional move speed because his Tranquil Boots... Before, they were just the boost of speed because he had taken 3 damage instances. However, it just popped and he gained the extra move speed to be able to just stay out of range as well as out of vision a bit through some forest juking of that Lifestealer, so he couldn't use open wounds on him. Great play to stay alive there. What a nice exchange though. That's what I want to see. Some really early aggression with these really heavy teamfight oriented ultimates with that Ravage as well as the reverse polarity. Looks like they want more as well. Tinker had finished his travel. He's come in. They're going to try to go on Xiaolou here on the Keeper of the Light, and it's an easy kill. Are they going to continue though?
The Tinker is probably going to go down into the middle lane.
Uses her Laguna
Just this
Blade.
combo with the Magnus and the Bounty Hunter. The Bounty is not letting this Tinker rest. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It's okay though. There was a 1-for-1 there. Lifestealer and company as well, taking the Rubik with that Lina's ultimate. And as you'd mentioned in the mid lane, Tinker going down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They are trying to go onto this Lina right now. However, a gush from the Tidehunter shuts things down. Decides, nope,
Dire's top tower
I don't
is
want you to
under
kill my
attack.
support. She's too valuable. At the same time, Lifestealer now has migrated top, and they get the last hit
Dire's
going
top
to Chen,
tower
which
has
is going to aid
fallen.
him in the fast mechanism. He does have his buckler picked up right now, as well as his headrest now, so he's only the recipe away from his mech. And now that Lifestealer is done in the top lane, he just goes right back to the bottom. However, Magnus is waiting there, as well as the Rubik, so this could be an opportune time to go. Infest is stolen from the Rubik. But Lifestealer now knows Magnus is there, so he's going to be a little bit more passive. At least until support comes in the form of that Lina. This is some pretty interesting warding going on. I mean, there's some vision there for Zenith up on that top lane, but at the same time, they don't have really the wards for the runes. They are countering mid lane at the very least, but they're done with the top lane. They might need to start, you know, putting down some more wards in other places. For example, like they want to go on this bottom tower sitting pretty low, or even just support for their mid lane, seeing as Tinker has gone down 3 times now. Oh, Bounty Hunter searching. He is invisible still.
Found the Chen. Is he gonna go on this?
Yep. I think he is, because his Windwalk's...
Oh, just ran out before that hit, and that's a big part of the damage gone, actually.
Yep.
Oh,
They actually used
there's
reverse polarity for that.
Interesting choice, and the Tinker cancels his TP.
Yeah, but
wonder if that
Magnus
was a
is sitting in a
mistake.
really scary position. He's gonna try to get the TP off, but he has to cancel it, unfortunately, due to the fact that Lina was there. Is he gonna go down? Yep, looks like it's Rocket.
Oh. Yeah, he does go down.
The
Oh,
impending
look at the
doom.
Nyx bomb with the Bounty Hunter. Oh, that was
Yeah, I
actually a
saw that.
Rubik with the stolen ulti.
Yeah, the Rubik Bomb. You've heard of
The
Nyx
Rubik bomb.
Now it's the Rubik Bomb. Whoa, looks like a lot of damage going on to the Rubik. I feel like if she had her ultimate there, she would have been able to kill. Maybe the range was a little bit too small for that. I mean, it does do 450 damage, and Rubik's sitting at around 350, so maybe one more additional right click would have helped secure that kill.
I wonder if the... No, Rubik is not going to be able to do this again, I don't think. Is he? Maybe.
That'd be pretty funny. I want to see like 2 people do it, just like one from, I don't know, Tinker, if he gets a Blink Dagger blinking in with the Nakes, and then the Rubik doing it on the other hand with that Bounty Hunter, just like all of a sudden, throws. Be pretty sweet. A group up coming on the end of Zenith here. The score is 9-8, so a pretty close game by the looks of things. It's only around a 2,000 gold advantage in favor of Zenith, who do have the 2 towers, well, 1 tower, soon to be 2 towers in this mid lane advantage. Rocket spam coming out on the back of this Tinker. He's trying to get them as low as possible and spamming the March of the Machines just to make sure they can get this tower in peace. They might not be able to though. Bounty Hunter coming in from the side.
Radiant's top tower is
Big
under
Illuminate on the Lifestealer, so low right now.
structures are fortified.
Excellent play. Unfortunately, Lifestealer still gets the last hit. They don't get the deny off, but they did do a lot of damage and forced the Lifestealer momentarily back.
Yeah.
And he does finish up his armlet. That's going to be a really nice item just for the
Radiant's top
early
tower
to mid-game
has been
fights that
denied.
Well, we see a
Have been
smoke
quite-
up in mid lane from Rattlesnake right here. They're gonna look to try to sit behind his lone druid, I think. Probably hope to get a Tinker kill, but I don't know how successful it's gonna be. Wonder if Tinker takes the bait. We'll have to see.
I don't know. He could. I mean, it is one of the only places to farm right now, but at the same time, whoa, he almost went in vision of that sentry ward.
TP's bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, cancels.
Dire's bottom tower is
He doesn't know
Oh.
where to farm. Yep, looks like he's going to end up going bottom.
Oh, cancels again. I think he's just trying to draw people towards the bottom lane. I think
Yep,
he knows
it's
something
bait.
fishy is up. Yep. Very well played. Good game sense.
Really good game sense, and you know, that's something you can expect from the veteran Yamate playing that Tinker.
Looking at the graphs right here, not pretty even actually. Slightly in favor of Zenith right here, but that kind of comes down to the Tinker actually, I feel. Tinker just being able to farm so much, and the Lifestealer just having such high gold per minute.
Yep, if you look at the top 3 farmers, they're all kind of in a tier, sitting with the Lifestealer at 100 CS pretty much, as well as a Lone Druid, and then Tinker at around 80. The next highest, of course, being that Keeper of the Light, surprisingly. Support? I think not. He already has his mech finished, and he's sitting pretty comfortable.
Relic picked up on his lone druid, getting really close to
they
his
catch
Radiant
sight.
there.
They caught sight of that Lina there. However, Bounty Hunter wind walked in vision of the Lina, and they pop the dust almost immediately.
Radiant's
Unfortunately, he's a
bottom
little bit
tower
out of
is
range of
under
the open
attack.
wounds. Is he going to be able to get him? He
Calm
does get
strums.
him with the open wounds there, but he's fearing the backlash from the Chinese squad, and so Lifestealer decides wisely to back off there. Really nice map awareness as well as just like game knowledge from both teams. They know, like, it's kind of like a flow. They know when to engage and they know when to disengage.
Magnus has just picked up a Blink Dagger. Look to see the reverse polarity right here. And there we go.
Yep. There we go. And Hand of God actually popped as well.
Oh,
as well
Ravage.
as a Ravage. Did that actually catch anyone? I'm not even sure about that.
I don't think
they
it
look
did.
like they're trying to get the Rubik now. Lifestealer doing a lot of damage. Pops his armlet as well. But wow, look at the amount of damage coming from the Illuminate as well. Rubik getting a lot of kills from the Fade Bolt. Marks the Machines though. Everyone's retreating from Rattlesnake. It was a 1-for-1 in the end. Lifestealer sitting pretty low on health, and the mech is popped though. Oh, I don't think it was the Illuminate actually previously.
Oh,
Oh, they get the kill on the
snipe.
Lifestealer. That was cheeky. Excellent Observer Ward placement lets them get that kill too.
Oh!
Block as well, and a skewer back from that Magnus. Perfect, right into the middle of the team. He's trying to run forward to get some anchor smashes off though, because he is pretty tanky inherently. And the Bounty Hunter just trying to run away as well. This is a really huge cluster.
Oh, this Lina's
part
gonna
of my
take some
language.
heavy
Just
damage
going
right
off onto
here.
that Bounty
Is she
Hunter
gonna go
as
down to the
well.
Illuminate? No!
Hot or not?
Yeah. Tidehunter's still running for his life, but he's pretty tanky still. He's trying to do some damage. Everyone's just kind of kiting each other around. Laser going off onto Bounty Hunter. He's pretty low,
Lone Druid
but so
has
is his
entered the fight
Tidehunter,
with the
so he's
Radiance.
really low now. Everyone's chasing still. Nice laser stolen by that Rubik. Once again picks up another kill onto that Tidehunter. Rubik is doing work. And they want to dive.
They're gonna dive with the Radiance on the bear right
Yep.
here.
Oh, Chen was found. Chen was found.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's just gonna stand there and take it.
Well,
Kill steal there by that Magnus, ensuring the
Oh,
last
the
hit.
Tinker TPing down here actually.
Now Tinker's in a really precarious situation
Yeah.
here. I don't know if he wanted to do that really.
If he gets rooted here, he's dead. Oh,
He uses
it's a
the
good
laser
laser.
on the bear, but I feel like this is only just to buy time as well for that Lifestealer, and then they all wisely back off. Does pop by the Lifestealer. Unfortunately, Bounty Hunter isn't in sight there. Nice blinding light as well as the TP out from the Keeper of the Light. He's
So
gonna
strong
get
by
out.
this Orb
Okay.
of Venom as well. Proving to be a really good pickup.
Taking a look at the graphs now, look at that dip. It's 20 minutes into the game. Now sitting at a slight advantage in favor of Rattlesnake, as well as a slight advantage in terms of XP. But you know what? Like, the amount of teamfight and control, it's just a lot of kiting backwards and forwards. We noticed that the Radiance was finished on the Lone Druid. I mean, he has it finished for about, I would say, 6 minutes or so right now. But it did come into effect in that. Unfortunately, no one really has a Blink Dagger. I feel like Yamate also might not end up going for that Blink Dagger, just because of the fact that there is a Radiance on the field. But he does end up picking it up. So he's going to need to be pretty quick on his hands there to make sure that he doesn't take Radiance damage before he's able to blink out. But for now, continuing with the Dagger spam, the Shockwave spam, and the Illuminate spam. Lots of spam.
Lots of spam. That is kind of the nature of the lineup though.
It is, for sure. A lot of like push, a lot of back and forth as well.
Yeah.
Tidehunter just about to hit level 11, so that will give him his level 2 ultimate. Taking a look at the net worths now, Lone Druid is actually in the lead right now, followed by the Lifestealer, as well as the Tinker. And then the other 3 roundups from the Rattlesnake team, Magnus, Bounty Hunter, as well as Keeper of the Light. No doubt Track Gold having some slight influences there.
Yeah. Almost
But
definitely.
even with Track Gold, the overall gold is pretty even. Looks like they are going to try to sneak in a Roche right now. They have that Sentry Ward as well, just to make sure that there is no vision from the Radiant, so they might not expect anything. Tidehunter also picking up his Blink Dagger. So the fact that the Radiance is up doesn't really take them away from the fact that they have their Blink Dagger pickups on the heroes that normally go for that item. That's going to be a snuck Roche. It's 22-25 right now. And the Aegis goes to the Lone Druid. Yeah, I know, I always say that. It's just a habit now. Both teams kind of want a 5-man. That's the great part about this game of Dota. They both have really strong 5-man Dota teams. So we're going to see a lot of engagements, and it feels like the game might end up being decided up in this mid-game right now. Looks like they are going to find his Bounty Hunter. He uses open wounds, but not before the Bounty Hunter goes invisible. As well as the open wounds now is stolen. Actually, Rage is stolen, but an Entangle goes off onto this Lifestealer. Lifestealer picked up as well, and March into the chain spam. Nice blink as well as reverse polarity. Only hits the Lifestealer though, but the blink Ravage catches 3 heroes, and the Lone Druid is going to take a lot of damage. Pops the Aegis. Unfortunately, the mech is a little bit too late there. Lone Druid about to take a lot of damage. And he looks like he is going to go down as well. Magnus trying to go in to help him, but the laser as well from the Tinker going to hurt him quite a bit. Oh. On the other hand, Lifestealer trying to go on this Rubik too, but Magnus looks like he's going to escape. Is Rubik going to escape? Nope. No, he is not. That was a very interesting trade once again. Looks like only 2 heroes went down for Zenith though, whereas on the other hand, 4 heroes, or maybe 3 went down for...
3 went down.
I think it was 3 actually that went down for Rattlesnake.
Yeah.
So still a pretty even engagement, but I feel like that... No, I would call that even. I was going to say it would favor Zenith, but at the same time, track kills
Track is
were
pretty important to note here, yeah.
And it is a level 2 track. Look at the damage! Oh, oh my god. Unlucky with those March of the Machines. And then Tinker blinks in and snipes him with his laser for the kill on the Magnus. Now, if you take a look at the graphs, actually, look at the experience graph. That's really what's showing what's up right now. It's really spiking sharply back up to 0. This game is back and forth. It's almost sinusoidal, these graphs. Pardon my math. Heavy Illuminate. Hitting that, Lina, she's already pretty low, but of course the mech from the Chen will bring her back up. Chen, of course, having finished his mech, has 2 pretty heavy heals that are going to be of great use in these team fights. In terms of item progression, we haven't really seen that much. I want to check the bears once it respawns. He doesn't have it. It's on cooldown right now, unfortunately. But in terms of Lifestealer, he picked up his armlet quite a while ago. He's now sitting at 2,500 gold almost, but not too much item progression in that sense. However, for the Tinker, he does have his ultimate orb, looking probably to pick up that Sheepstick after this. And after the Sheepstick, we might even get into that Ethereal Blade Dagon 5 that we have seen Zenith Tinkers go for.
Oh god, I hope we get to see that.
I know. I mean, this game right now, it's 15-15, looking to potentially go into a late game situation. 30 kills in 25 minutes, so some pretty nice action coming on the side of both teams here.
Yeah, by no means a passive game, but still looks to be going into the late game, as you just said.
Mm-hmm. Smoke up coming in on the side of Team Rattlesnake here.
All 5 of them.
I'm looking for the ping. I'm looking for the ping right now. It doesn't seem like they've noticed. Yes, they do. All there's like 3 or 4 pings right now. The courier's actually gonna get in the way right now too. But
huge
a nice
reverse
polarity, but a huge Ravage catches all 5 as well. Hand of God coming out from the Chen. Doesn't look like anyone's getting low right now though. Tidehunter taking quite a brunt of the damage. Nice blinding light as well, but the mech is popped, keeping the Tidehunter quite alive. Everyone's still pretty healthy. That's the crazy part. Bounty Hunter running into the tower to live. On the other hand, wow, that was a massive... Oh, man, barely catching him. However, the Keeper of the Light ends up going down due to the right click from that Tidehunter. Fadebolt trying to weaken the creeps of Chen. Only 1 person went down in that engage? Are you serious?
Wow.
Like, what just happened there? I have
Even
no
with
idea
the amazing initiation from both teams. Just...
Yeah, that was nuts.
Barely anybody going down.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
Yeah, there's not much to say about that.
That was from a smoke gank, predicted with that great sentry ward placement there. Just wow. High level Dota at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like what I was talking about, that bear, he only has 2,000 gold up in addition to that Radiance. So both of the carries kind of struggling based on the fact that neither team is really coming out ahead in these engagements. If anything, Rattlesnake is, based on the fact that they do have that track hold. But at the same time, it's not out of the way. Bear taking a lot of damage. Actually, a blink in from the Tidehunter. He's sitting pretty low though. This is really risky from them. Magnus tries to blink in
just
and
missing the skewer.
Yeah. Oh, Lifestealer. He's gonna try to get this cheap kill on that Rubik with that open wounds as well as rage. I say cheap, but very necessary kill as well. They need all the kills they can get right now to try to counterbalance that track gold.
This Tinker is just farming away. It doesn't feel like he's getting as farmed as he should be, you know?
Uh-oh. Speaking of Tinker, they want him. Unfortunately, oh, reverse polarity is up, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna want to use it just for that 1 Tinker kill. you know, he's slowly but surely getting his items, and that's something I've noticed. They aren't really playing Tinker like that much of a hard carry. He could very well be the one. I mean, both him and the Lifestealer have a very similar role in terms of farming amount in this game.
Yeah. Kind of a 1.5, so to speak.
Yeah, 2 1.5s.
Two
still
1.5s.
makes it 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Regeneration.
Something I want to talk about is that the fights are so fast-paced, and it doesn't really... It's hard to tell where they're going in terms of the direction, that these Keeper of the Lights Illuminates, like half of them are hitting the mark and half aren't. Just because he has no idea where the movement's going to be, where the team fight flow is going to be. The only thing he can really combo it with is most of the time a reverse polarity from Magnus when he blinks in. It's a pretty hard job to fill right now. He does pick up the Force Staff for himself though, so he is going to provide himself as well as his team a little bit more mobility. Hyperstone picked up on the bear. He's sitting around 2,000 gold away from his Assault Cuirass. Maybe a little bit more than that, actually. Maybe 3,000 gold. Radiant's Courier died in the fight beforehand. That's something important to mention. I had briefly mentioned it at the beginning of the fight, that it was on its way there, but it seems like it was in fact picked off as well.
This Bounty is just hunting the Lina, just puts the track up and then walks away, and it just gives them vision, right? Just lets them know what the enemy team is doing. It's always worth it to get the track off.
Yep.
Unless you die, obviously. Don't want to give away kills, but...
The gold graph just now having dipped back in favor of Zenith. This game is still really even. It is 17-15. This is the semifinals of the GosuCup Asia. I am Orbit, and joining me as well is Shred for this cast. This is game 1, of course. And check out this Tinker right now. He has a Naix inside him. They know where they are, those two supports, but I don't know if he wants to blink in this aggressively, just in case Magnus is nearby.
Oh, but he is finding the Keeper of the Light. Oh! Blinks too far!
Yep, just a little bit too far in that blink. However, it
gives
might
him time
be
to
enough.
pop the mech.
Angle actually goes off onto that Lifestealer, and the March of Machines. This might actually let Keeper of the Light stay alive.
And blinking too far gave Luo the time to pump the mech and survive right there. Also gave time for Lone Druid to show up.
Man, that was like a what have I done blink right there.
Oh god!
Oh god, what did I do?
No.
And Lifestealer is just like, well, screw it. I'm just gonna get out anyways.
He didn't back off when he saw me? Oh well, guess he lives then. Lifestealer is farming away. He's sitting on a lot of gold right now. I wonder what he'll pick up. Maybe a BKB, just to have that extra 10 seconds of Magic Community is going to be pretty massive, but there's so much going through the BKB in this game. The Rage hasn't really proven that effective for him because of these entangles. So maybe he'll go for something else, like more damage oriented. Like maybe a Basher, we've seen that a lot. Abyssal Blade.
Take a look at this Tidehunter, by the way. Not only does he have a Naix inside of him, he has a Perseverance. He might go for that Refresher. Oh, they found someone. They found that Bounty Hunter. Uh-oh. He looks like he's gonna go down, actually, due to that gem picked up on the Tinker.
Yep.
That's a nice, easy kill. And now they might be able to push with that. He is down for 45 seconds. Still not close to his BKB.
We see Heart of Tarrasque picked up here by Lifestealer.
Oh, that's a nice item for him.
That's
for
a
sure.
nice item. I like it. He doesn't really need to provide that much damage in teamfights. He doesn't need to go for the straight damage items. Yep. Tinker's already there, right? The
They can still, yeah,
so
exactly. They can still go for the Outlast as well as just like the kiting potential with that Tinker.
Also, they want to bring it to late game. They don't want a volatile matchup, right? They want to bring it to late game to have this Tinker really shine through. The Zenith Tinker. We've seen it before. We might see it this game.
Yep. March of the Machine used to zone out just so that they are able to get the bottom tier 2 tower for Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake had pinged earlier to try to defend it, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to now. Lone Druid, on the other hand, trying to split push as well as possible. He's picked up his plate mail.
Hand of God used just to get that tower, just to heal up the creeps, really. I'm not too sure about that, or how I feel about it. That's a pretty
it's on a
big
2-minute cooldown right now.
Keeping it at level 1 as well. There's really no point in doing that.
That's pretty interesting. It looks, I mean, I guess he's just, it's very intentional. That's the thing that's important. So he's picking up levels in Penitence, effectively, in favor of just one level of Hand of God.
Not quite sure about that. I guess he just wants to save the mana, or get more bonus damage, but we just talked about how they probably want to outlast the enemy team in teamfights, and lower levels in Hand of God isn't really going to help them with that.
Ping's out to Roche right now. Both teams know what's up.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty important for the next fight. Most likely the next fight is going to happen in that area. Lifestealer going in just to make sure they haven't smoked in and done it. Because that ward
Look at how similar the wards are right here. They're pretty much mirroring each other in the map vision department. Of course, apart from this ward, but it's kind of an old ward. It doesn't really... It's not really relevant anymore.
Yeah. Oh, barely dodging that Illuminate with Alina. She's just going to use her nukes to just clear the creep wave in the mid lane. I feel like a lot of the heroes have to force themselves to be near the mid as well as the bot lane, just to make sure that neither team can go for Roche. They are using the bear, however, to split push, which is one of the added side effects of having that lone druid carry Radiance. He is able to just keep the bear there, and then just bring it back when he needs it in the team fights.
Speaking of this bottom lane, Tinker is right down there split pushing right now with his Scythe of Ice finish, which means that he has the mana to support so many more spellcasts in his team fights. Also, keeping someone perma-locked down is pretty big.
Yep. Another side effect of having that Tinker as well as Chen on your team is that in case a team fight happens without their knowledge, he can still TP to the Chen creeps, and the Hand of God will keep the Chen creeps long enough for that to happen as well, which is a nice side effect. It means that Tinker is never going to be caught with his pants down, just in a different lane, not able to TP to a fight. Whoa, you see that aggressive blink actually coming out of the Tidehunter?
Yeah.
He wanted to try to get a Ravage off, but everyone was nicely positioned for a Rattlesnake.
Refresher is done on Magnus, which means that he has a double reverse polarity to use in this fight. Most of the time when Magnus is actually pick up this item, they don't usually get the 2 reverse polarities off, because they end up saving one of the ultis for the next team fight, which means they can push faster. They don't have to wait so long between pushes.
Yep, not only that, but it's actually also due to potential mana issues.
Yeah.
You need to be able to use your Arcane Boots pretty much twice to be able to get that off.
Yep.
Invisibility.
Invis.
Mid Wars right now. Mid Wars featuring Zenith and Rattlesnake. Let's take a look at the graphs right now. It's actually pretty nicely in favor of Team Zenith, but I don't want to keep my eye away from the mid lane. That's the only problem. It's a 3,500 or so gold advantage in favor of them, as well as a 7,500 experience, which is quite a bit of experience. Tidehunter found an Invis rune, but there was a sentry ward there. He is tracked up right now.
Oh.
They look like they might be able to catch him, though. He takes a lot of damage. He's already down to half health, and this might mean that they want to back up a little bit.
Yeah, he might hesitate to jump in now.
As well as an Urn. Mech and Urn use, so he will be at full health once again. It was nice that the Kraken Shell also purged the track that was cast on him. That means that he can still just, you know... Sure, the Invis didn't work, but he still has his Blink initiation, and he's going to be full health, as well as full mana for the next fight.
Looks like Nyx is going for the Roshan here, but maybe trying to sneak it, but Keeper of the Light is scouting it out right now, so...
Yeah.
Shouldn't be able to do this. And now he knows, he's probably just going to back out.
Yep. And that's 2 creeps gone now for Chen. He's going to go back into his jungle to try to pick up... Oh, look! Another Centaur.
The king of the centaurs. X-Freedom.
Yep. And look, there's another one to the left of him. Triple Centaur going to be for this Chen.
Yep. He's waiting for that cooldown to come up.
He's just going to jungle until then, I think.
Assault Curious is done on this lone druid. That's a pretty big pickup.
Yep, that's actually quite important for the next fight. They're going to have a nice plus armor aura, so this is going to be good. Man, look at the engagement though. Like, I really like the fact that they're forcing Rattlesnake to B5 as well, even though they're not necessarily 5 on their own. Tinker can split push at a heartbeat. As for the Team Rattlesnake, only really the Lone Druid's Bear with the Radiance can afford to be away, just in case that Tide is there with maybe a Lifestealer inside of him, just to open the initiation. Everyone has to be relatively close together, and that means that some of the items that should have been completed by now, such as the Black King Bar on the Bounty Hunter, are just quite delayed.
Looks like Zenith are spreading out here quite a bit. I don't know how I feel about this Tidehunter being up here on the top lane. It looks like they want to sit behind the Lifestealer and wait for someone to go on him and stop him from pushing.
Yep.
With the double damage, he's going to be able to
map
seize this
where
tower
Rattlesnake
really
is going to be and where they're going to come from. Chen might be a little bit too far away from this fight if they are to engage right now. It looks like everyone wants to run away though. Run! Run!
Yeah, they want none of this.
Yep, it's good though. Rattlesnake doesn't chase too far up.
Zenith are actually paying this Roshan quite heavily right now. They want to go for it, I feel. Just push it out the mid lane.
He's gonna have to TP away though, or he might just stay there, just hang out, chillax, you know.
Yeah, try to get some
break.
split pushing going on.
Read the news. Yeah.
Just read the news. Sit behind his Lifestealer, kind of protect him in case someone tries to stop him from taking on this tower.
Yep. There goes the blacking bar now for that bounty hunter.
Very important.
Lifestealer going for his eventual Abyssal Blade. Currently just trying to get his basher up. Oh, are they going to try to go right now?
Do some harassment, I think.
Yeah, wow, but Magnus took a decent amount of damage. They did take the top tower for free, pretty much, and that's going to fuel the basher for the Lifestealer. Lifestealer knows what's up. Looks like Rattlesnake is all rotating, but as soon as they see them missing, they're just running away right now. Good play. Bounty Hunter trying to catch up, trying to find someone.
But I think he needs to be careful, actually. You don't want to man fight this Lifestealer. He's so tanky, and he does a lot of damage with that armlet on.
Yep.
And he won't care about the BKB.
Oh, they pinged him. They know he's there.
Illusion.
Ooh. The basher delivered now.
They pinged it out. As soon as Bounty Hunter opened up on that Lifestealer, they know, okay,
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter's there. It doesn't look like they want to engage on the mid lane then for Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake actually trying to smoke into the Roshan. Lone Druid had a self-smoke there, just so that he can get in without vision. However, the Chen creep looks like it is going to be able to scout this out.
You see what I see on this Tinker? It's begun.
Oh,
The
it has
Dagon.
begun.
It has begun!
Oh man, this is exciting actually now. That's going to be a lot of burst damage.
This Chen doesn't really have any creeps right now. It just takes over a creep or a Doctoral Warlord here in the jungle. But not having any creeps as Chen in this game is very important to note, because Tinker is able to TP to those, but to provide instant backup pretty much. But if there are no creeps, he can't do that. And split pushing becomes more dangerous.
1200 away from his refresher. Ooh. We could see some refresher on refresher, some heavy-duty ultimates, the reverse polarity, as well as the Ravage happening twice in the same team fight. Maybe even 5 times altogether if Rubik manages to steal. Be pretty funny. I love the late game situation, though, that the Zenith team is in. Oh, they are going to actually get the Sheep off on the Bounty Hunter, but the Tinker blinks away before the Radiance from the Bear manages to impact that. It was a nice play from Tinker. He could have seen an opportunity, but wisely blinking away just to make sure. If he was caught there with the Radiance burn from that Bear, he would have gone down.
Regeneration.
Looks like Rattlesnake are actually going to back off for a while here.
Whoa, that was an aggressive blink
wow.
forward by that Tide Hunter.
Incredibly aggressive.
That was pretty ballsy. Oh, looks like Tinker's actually going to blink forward. He's going to try to go on this Bounty Hunter. Uses his Dagon as well. Lifestealer is there. They're going to get that kill relatively easily. Nice play, but the Roshan was killed by the Dire.
Needs to drop an Iron Branch.
Iron Branch to grab them.
Oh, sad face. He just discards us like that.
Uh-oh. Is he going to go down almost instantly right now? He is going to go down. Most likely, he's sheeped right now. Yeah. Taking a lot of damage as Lone Druid, and his team is pretty far away to help. They're actually chasing the Tide Hunter on the other hand. This is not an ideal situation as well. Looks like Lone Druid is going to lose his Aegis. Tide Hunter does end up going down, but I don't know if his team is there to kill this, to assist in saving this Lone Druid. Actually, beautiful. That was so lucky. Reverse Polarity misses though, however. This is going to keep going right now. Looks like Lifestealer's Rage is about to run out. He's going to get hit by a full level Illuminate. They're going to try to chase this Chen. However, excellent play there from the Lina, trying to provide backup. The Bear ends up picking up the kill on the Chen. They are going to pick up the Rubik as a result, though. Keeper like getting bashed by the Nakes. He's going to keep going forwards. Ping's going on to the Bear, though. Nake's still chasing. One more hit. All he needs is one more hit on that Keeper of the Light, and he's gonna with you, Infest.
Oh, is he gonna keep going?
But the Open loses out as well. A Blink though coming across. This Lifestealer is fighting in their base. This is a 3v1 in their base. Oh, he gets entangled though, and in tower range. He's gonna just try to keep doing damage, but he is going to go down in the end. Wow, what a crazy elongated team fight there.
This Lina is very farmed. Just pointing that out quickly. A Blink Dagger and a Force Staff means she's going to be so active in these team fights, being able to survive and just spam her spells. And that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, let's take a look at the graphs right now. It's still really even. What was about a 10,000 experience is just now starting to dip down, still in favor of Zenith, however. Zenith is still momentarily in the lead, but track kills will change that. It's around a 4,000 gold advantage as well, which is nothing for 42 minutes into this game. Also, Tinker did not go down there. He's now picked up his Dagon, level 2. He's working his way up. He's working his way up into that super, super late game build.
And it's so scary to be up against that.
Man,
level 1 Dagon isn't really doing that much this late into the game. But level 5, that's gonna hurt a ton.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's going to be 800 magic damage, and if he combines it with an eventual Ethereal Blade, maybe for a 60-minute into the game type situation, that's going to basically one-shot someone every time it's off cooldown, with the rest of his spells, of course. And hey, I mean, it's Tinker. He can rearm. It's going to be off cooldown quite a bit.
And he's invisible right now, hunting people, but he's not going to find anyone. Not just yet, because there is a smoke up in the mid lane for Rattlesnake.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful as well. There is a gem picked up on the Magnus, though. So although it's... Are they going to go? Nice grab it, all 5, but they are most likely going to pick off this Tidehunter. Tidehunter getting really low. He's going to live with about 200 health. On the other hand... Oh, no, he does end up going down. Lifestealer wants a part of this action, though. He is going to go. Nice ultimate by that Lina to pick off that Keeper of the Light, as well as a great Light Strike away to hit the Lone Druid. They're going to try to pick off the bear, and they managed to do so. Tinker blinks in, as well as sheeping the Lone Druid. Lone Druid's going down, pretty much. Lifestealer, on the other hand, trying to do some damage to the supports and zone them out. But Lone Druid seems like he's going to be okay. Lifestealer's still chasing. Just like a one-track mind right now. He's going to get a bash entangle, proc, but the entangle hits him. However, he's going to go down. Excellent reverse polarity, hitting 3 heroes. Are they going to continue? Looks like Tinker's getting really low. He is going to go down. Lifestealer picks off a return kill, however, on the Rubik, who had bought back in the beginning. Lone Druid getting really low. Another entangle, though, but seems like he's going to be okay. They are going to try to get this Magnus. Magnus looks like he's going to go down. Nice bash hit. And then another entangle is going to make that Lifestealer go down. Wow, I'm mixing up my words right now. There's just so much action going on. Look at this Chen. Is he going to go down?
Chen is actually going to drop here.
Yeah.
Oh, he drops the gem and destroys it, I think. No, Fountain was able to pick it up. He tried to destroy it just before he died, but not quite able.
There's now 2 gems in favor of RS, as well as they took down that mid tower. So now that we're going to start to see a huge spike in favor of gold earned. Those are some pretty sweet roots there going on for that Lifestealer.
Pretty much
he was having
every
a huge
hit.
issue.
Yeah.
Oh man. A little bit of a lull in the action, only due to the fact that there are 4 heroes dead for Zenith, so it's kind of hard for them to engage in team fights. Otherwise, I'm sure we would see more heavy action going on. This is a really great start to the semi-final series between Zenith and Team Rattlesnake. This is Lam and Xiaolo's new team. Some really great plays going on so far. Both teams have shown their strength through this bracket, and just it's a clash of the titans at its finest. So with that lull in the action, we can start to take a look at these support items. Check out Lina. She has her Blink Dagger, her Force Staff. She is pretty rich. Chen is about 1,000 away from having his Aghanim Scepter finished as well. That's going to be a nice pickup for him, having his ultimate on a much lower cooldown. And of course, he did pick up that 2nd level of his ultimate eventually. Check out the Magnus. He has a Shadow Blade now.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty interesting pickup to say the least.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen that before.
Yeah, like, I mean, considering both teams have really been adamant about their gem pickups, it's pretty interesting. Ultimate Orb picked up for that Keeper of the Light. He looks like he's going to want to transition into eventual Sheepstick.
Yeah,
Blink Dagger, Force Staff. I mean, Lina and Rubik have very similar items, if not actually the exact same items.
Yeah, smoke up for Rattlesnake.
Yep, 5-man smoke. Both teams are still, I feel like, going to want to have 5-on-5 engagements.
Yeah.
It's too risky to have a split pusher right now. Both teams are just so close to each other in terms of these team fights and how they're swinging. It's interesting that they don't want to finish up the MKB that the Lone Druid is going for before this 5-man smoke.
Both teams are just gathered up as 5 on different sides of the map right now. Kind of shows their mentality. They, as you said, they just want a 5v5. Both teams feel comfortable doing that.
Lifestealer is sitting 15 gold away from his Abyssal Blade completion. I don't know if he's going to go for it yet, or if he's going to try to
say buyback.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say.
Yeah.
We can take a look at the buyback status right now, because now it's the time where it's going to come into play. It's only Lifestealer and Keeper of the Light right now.
Is there a gem actually right now? I know that the Radiant, yep, they picked up a new gem. It's going to be on the Tinker as well. It blinks up to try to find a ward positioning there, but no wards there. He might just use his rearm. Nope, he's just going to wait out his blink cooldown. Just stand there, Statue of Liberty-esque right now, basking in his glory of being a robot, I guess.
Being a robot? I don't know if he's a robot, but certainly a cyborg, right?
Yeah,
or
okay,
an android,
we'll go with cyborg.
For any sci-fi fans out there, we don't want to anger you.
We love you too.
We love everyone.
So everything is up. Tide has finished his refresher orb, so he's gonna have his double ravage, sorry. And Magnus, of course, finished his refresher orb quite a while ago. There's gonna be 2 ultimates there. This is the hyper late game type situation now. Dagon 2 still on that Tinker, seeing as he did go down and had to wait quite a while for his respawn. Hasn't really been able to farm too much. But
and since then he's kind of been sitting behind a Lifestealer actually, just protecting his carry.
Looks like the Lifestealer is going to finally pick up his Abyssal Blade. He does have 863 gold. Ooh. In terms of who has buyback right now, no one except the Keeper of the Light has enough money for buyback.
And look at this, the Invis Gang squad. Kinda going back 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Tinker's not actually there with the gem to be able to scout out any of the Invis going on right now.
Tidehunter with these illusions just spots them out.
Yep. Roshan, about 2 minutes away. Both teams might actually start posturing in terms of the vision with their observers and sentries, as well as just starting to stay around that area. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a lull in the action just for the upcoming Roche fight.
And MKB picked up here on the Spirit Bear, and I think that's a good pickup. It provides even more disruptions for this Lifestealer, even through Rage. Also provides such a heavy DPS on this bear.
So for now, as mentioned, just a little bit of a lull in the action. If you take a look at the gold earned, it's now swinging down to be in favor of Rattlesnake. It's 2,500 gold in favor for them. But XP, on the other hand, 2,500 in favor of Team Zenith. It's still a really close game.
Oh, smoke up in the mid lane for Zenith right here.
Yeah, they want to fight. They want to fight now. Is he going to blink up right now? He could actually get 3 heroes in this Ravage. Maybe even 4 if he blinks up.
Where does he blink?
He blinked
upwards?
Away. Yep.
That's pretty interesting.
Yep. MKB is now finished on this bear. Bear taking a little bit of damage as well. Not too much though. Nothing that matters.
Just finished his Scythe of Vice, which is going to be very important for them.
Yep.
If
Magnus
they can get
the only hero with buyback.
They can get that on the Tinker's pretty much dead.
Yeah, it'll be definitely risky for that Tinker for sure. He has finished his Dagon 3 now, sitting 1,000 away from his Dagon number 4. They look like they're going to want to defend. Tinker's going to have to teleport back. This is the right hero to do so, just based on the fact that he can come back in a moment's notice to one of the Chen creeps.
But it looks like Zenith are going to want to back off here and just farm some more. They don't want to sit around waiting while the Dire farm up, and that's the correct choice.
The important thing, though, is that both teams know the Roche timer, so look how close they are sitting to Roche. They're just waiting for it to drop. It's going to drop in about 20 seconds as well, maybe even 10 seconds now. So I don't see teams straying away that much from the Roshan area. Tinker now TPing top, just trying to push this as much as possible, trying to, you know, have the lanes pushed so that in the event of an engagement here, if both teams are really low, their top lane, they might have some damage on this in-base tower.
And also, if they win a fight, he wants it to be as pushed as possible so he can put even more pressure on it, in case he lives, right? He wants to be able to TP up here and do some heavy damage to that Rax. Oh, and
another
the Nate's bomb with
Dagon 4.
They're smoked up in mid right now, Zenith are, and Nax is actually sitting inside Ice's Eyes right now on this Tidehunter.
Yep. He's gonna use his Ravage as well on the Magus. Magus melts instantly. Does he have enough money for buyback, however? It seems like he does. He just isn't using it yet. Lifestealer wants a part of this action right now. Still no buyback being used. He still has his buyback up. Magus is just waiting.
This bear is taking so much damage.
Oh, the bear is actually gonna go down as well. Does he have another one? He does have another one summoned up. He's gonna have to do it soon. But Magnus is still waiting it out. He still hasn't chosen to buyback. Blink in as well as the Sheep on the Rubik. There he goes with the buyback. The second Ravage is going to go. It's going to hit on the Keeper of the Light as well. But the Blink Reverse Polarity hits the Nakes as well as that Tidehunter. Doesn't really work though because these two are so tanky. Bounty Hunter melts almost instantly due to the Sheep as well as Lifestealer. And they're going to try to get the second bear as well. Excellent fight there. Really well played by Zenith. And they're going to get a really nice advantage. And use this advantage potentially to go into the Roshan pit. Keep in mind, there is still a reverse polarity up if he chooses to do so by popping that refresher orb. However, both Ravages, I believe, were used. Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were.
So they might not actually decide to go for Roshan here, just being scared of the fact that there is a reverse polarity up. Nakes did so much work in that fight due to the constant sheeps of that Tinker. Aghanim Scepter now being finished for the Chen. But Tinker now just about has his Dagon 5, so we might start to see the Ethereal Blade coming up soon. Yeah. pure entertainment. This
There
is
we
some
go.
high quality Dota going on right now. I really like the way both teams are playing. It's going back and forth. What was a 3,000 gold advantage in favor of the Dire now
Are they
just
gonna
starting
try to
to
sneak
spike
this?
right back up to 0.
This Tinker is just trying to get a cheeky pick off on this one of the supports, just going to ward, but there is already a ward. They've already done that, so not really.
This is interesting. They just now start to do Roche while the Dire is now respawning their heroes. They're starting as 5 now, so the next fight is going to be once again a 5-on-5 engagement.
And fighting
they
in the
won't
Roche
have the
pit
Tide
against
Ravage up.
Magnus is incredibly risky, and if they wait 10 more seconds, they have a double reverse polarity.
This is so scary.
Are they gonna wait?
They see it low. That Keeper of the Lights Illuminate is going to be able to scout that. However, they do catch this Tidehunter. Tidehunter taking some pretty heavy damage. He is force-tapped out. And nice Blinken. Actually, not so nice with Blinken. He's going to melt almost instantly due to that Tinker's Dagon. Nice attempt at a steal there. However, it doesn't work in the end, and Rubik ends up going down as well. That's 2 heroes down, as well as the Aegis of the Immortal for the Lifestealer. And Bounty Hunter is just running for his life, uses his BKB, and was invisible. So even though the Lina did blink in, she had no way of seeing him. Man, the Penitence from Chen, that's a 32% bonus damage, as well as the Dagon 5, and just general new combination from Tinker is doing so much damage. Like, that combination in its own right is doing upwards of 1,500 damage to one target. That's insane.
Oh, he needs to blink away before the Radiance. No! I think this Tinker is gonna go down here actually, and he doesn't have buyback, and he gives away a gem. That's a massive pick off for Rattlesnake.
Fortunately, he does have the Dagon 5 completed.
Yeah, but he's down for 90 seconds.
Dire's structures are fortified.
He is, but however, they are trying to make use of the fact that 2 heroes are down for the Dire by pushing out the mid lane, which is quite important. Nice first hit entangle though from the bear. Look how fast that bear is melting though. That bear is down. He does have another one off of cooldown. He's gonna use it right away. But the mid lane racks are now exposed, and Lifestealer gets to work. 3 seconds left on this Magnus. He is going to have a reverse polarity in about 15 seconds, or if he chooses to use his Refresher Orb, which most likely won't be the case, but the Radiant decide to back off now. So Rax is exposed mid lane, but it's still anyone's game. It's 30-25 right now in the game 1 of the semifinals of the GosuCup Asia. Whew. I'm running out of breath now.
This is so much action right now, and it's such an intense game.
Not only that, but it's just such high-level Dota as well. They're
Illusion.
It's really showcasing like 2 top-tier teams just going at it, trading blows, fist for fist,
Fist for fist,
blow for blow,
eye for an eye.
eye for an eye.
Lone Druid is sitting at 4,000 HP right now, or gold. It'll be interesting to see what he picks up. Probably wants more damage, I would feel. But you'll have to ask yourself, when do you move the items over to yourself as a Lone Druid? Because that bear is going down really quick to this Lifestealer at this point.
It's true. Lifestealer, of course, now having picked up his Assault Cuirass, so he's pretty much sitting at a healthy 6 items, including that Aegis of the Immortal, of course. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to go for next, maybe even opting to pick up a Daedalus if he so chooses. Tinker now has the Lifestealer infested inside of him, so they're going to look for some action as well. He does find himself a haste rune, and he's going to bottle that up, most likely to be used in the next fight. Man, both teams are kind of hesitant. I feel like Zenith now has a really comfortable position in where they want to stand in this game. It's just like, you lose one fight in this situation, and things can go downhill pretty quickly. Lifestealer has just been Tinker for quite a while now.
He's been doing so for a really long time.
Yep. It's pretty interesting. Taking a look at the net worth right now, actually Lone Druid is still leading the way in terms of net worth. That's quite surprising. However, the next 2, by quite a margin, are both the Lifestealer and the Tinker. The 2 1.5s, which we had so mentioned in the earlier in this game. Oh, smoke upcoming by 3 heroes, the Tidehunter, the Chen, as well as the Lina. It's important to note that Tinker can be pretty much anywhere, as well as the Lifestealer that is infested inside of him. Uh-oh. Shallow.
Ooh.
Man.
Close. Pretty
risky.
Close.
Quite the risky maneuver there.
Oh, but look at this top lane. They know this Tinker's wanted to TP in.
Oh, looks like a reverse polarity is actually going to go off, but the Lifestealer comes in and invests
Oh!
out. They're actually going to kill that Magnus pretty much instantly due to that dig on 5. He's going to blink in. They're just waiting. They're just waiting for that BKB to run out. It runs out. There's the Sheep. There's another dig on 5 as well as the rearm. The Lifestealer is going to get the kill and a Gem of True Sight is dropped. That is 3 heroes down because in the mid lane at the same time, there still seems to be some action. Keepers of Light going to go down. Lone Druid gets an entangle off onto Lina.
Should be
Lina's
dead right
taking
here.
a lot of
Oh,
damage. Nice Light Strike array though onto the bear,
And
as well as a
sends
Test
back.
of Fate sending her back home. Whew. Wow, man, this is crazy. Zenith is starting to take some serious control of this game.
And Tinker just goes straight back to the top lane.
Yep, Sheep on the bear, you know. We like seeing all animals in this Dota game. Bears, sheeps, everything.
Pigs, anything. Even
Dire's
illuminated
top tower
horses.
is under attack.
Even centaurs.
Even centaurs.
Really aggressive blink forward from that Tinker. He's just trying to find people right now. He does so much damage through that dig on 5.
Dire's top tower.
Just the mobility with the blink dagger, the control with the sheep stick, and the pure burst with that dig on 5.
Yeah.
This Tinker is pretty much a jack of all trades right now.
And he's getting closer to that ethereal
Yep,
blade
they're going
as
to take
well.
that bottom, the top melee racks, and now they're going to transition into this middle one as well, due to the fact that 3 heroes are still down for Rattlesnake. Now they're going to go down into the bottom side, doing as much damage as possible to this tower. March of the Machines is used just to zone out the enemy. Yamate making full use of his abilities right now, as well as his items. And they're going to take down this tower. Are they going to stay though? That's the question. It looks like they have no reason not to. Lifestealer is going to do some damage. Onto this barracks. He is going to start taking a little bit of damage. Blink forward by Ice, but the Entangle goes off onto this Lifestealer. He still has his Aegis of the Immortal if he wants that to go down. He's doing as much damage as possible, but the Aegis is popped. We'll see what they decide to go for right now.
And this Lone Druid has moved his items over. So he's doing a ton of damage to this
First the
Lifestealer.
Entangle, and then into a
Oh!
bash action. Wow, what just happened? Looks like the Lifestealer was actually sent back to base to use the Test of Faith. XY actually really far forwards ahead of himself. Stolen open moves by the Rubik. But looks like reverse polarity
Kraken
used on
Shell
2 heroes
instantly.
as well. Nakes coming back in, but unfortunately gets reverse polarities. He has to run away for his life right now, taking a decent amount of damage. He's gonna go down actually.
He does have the buyback.
He does. Tinker actually now the next in line. This is starting
So
to
does
get
Tinker.
a little bit out of control. They've lost 3 heroes now already. But I'm not sure that Rattlesnake is in a position to make use of this advantage, if only due to the fact that they have 2 lanes now pushing quite heavily against them, both the mid lane as well as the top lane. But a really nice comeback.
And there are buybacks on everyone who's dead right now in Zenith, so they're not too worried, but you don't want to give away those late game kills either way, because you still want to get those items, especially this Tinker with the Ethereal Blade. He wants that badly.
Yep, here comes the death push right now. Tinker as well as the Lifestealer, I believe, both have buyback, which is going to be
so does the
nice for
Lina,
them.
but I don't think the Lina's going to use it.
Yep, but this is like a necessary death push, so to speak.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
They just want
what
to
is
force the
Bounty-
buybacks, and then they're probably
Bounty
going to
Hunter buys a sheep stick for himself.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I've ever seen a Bounty Hunter pick that up. But they might want more control. Blink forward pretty aggressively by the Rubik just to try to catch someone out with the Sheep. Unfortunately, the Force Staff as well as Sheep is going to pick out X-Freedom. A buyback coming out in the way of both the Lifestealer as well as the Tinker. Nice Ravage hits 4 members as well. And the second Ravage goes as well. The 5-member Ravage pretty much. BKB popped a little bit too late, but it looks like everyone is going down for the Dire team. Rattlesnake, everyone is running for their lives. Keeper of Light, the only survivor, he's going to get Laguna Bladed. That was a 5 for 0 based on those 2
And look for this
buybacks.
Tinker
And
to
a
be
GG
TPing
is
into the
called.
top lane.
That is game 1 of Zenith versus Rattlesnake. We're going to go into game 2 relatively soon. Don't go anywhere, guys. This is some high-level Dota, some next-level plays, and just some great action. Wow.
Just a really good game. I'm
Dire's
impressed.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks is the Radiant now have mega creeps. Dire's
What a
middle
sick game.
tower is under
That's all I can
attack.
say. I mean, just unreal plays.
Just
This is
really,
next
really
level
well.
Dota. Seriously, next level Dota.
Yep.
And 1 Dota right now.
Dire's Ancient is under attack. Radiant victory.
And with that, the throne goes down. Let's take a look at some of these stats, though. This is what I'm kind of interested in. I want to see how many kills Tinker actually ended up getting. Tinker's sitting
Only
at 10,
10.
6, and 14.
I say
13
only 10, but
Yeah, only 10.
But-
Only 10 kills.
with the Zenith
The same
Tinker,
with
you can't
13,
expect more, actually.
Look at how many Blink Daggers as well as 4 Staffs. This is
Yeah.
kind of like 4-8E reminiscent. There's 2 Blink Daggers as well as how many 4 Staffs there? 2 4 Staffs on the Dire, and then 1 4 Staff and 2 Blink Daggers as well on the Radiant. Not to mention a bunch of Sheep Sticks.